Kidney stones, what are they? How do they feel? What are the symptoms? What are the causes? What is the treatment? And how do you get over them? And why do you get them? In this special LALATE report, I go over kidney stones because guess what? I just had one. What is a kidney stone and when do you know it's forming and why does it happen? And how many Americans are suffering from kidney stones? First, let me start with that. I thought it was important to make this video about kidney stones on a channel that's financial news because the growing proliferation across America is that nearly 10% of the U.S. population is now suffering from at least one bout of kidney stones. Let's go over the data. Kidney stones generally form when you're a little bit older in life, not among young adults, and now 10% of the U.S. population suffers from them. They initially form for reasons we don't particularly know. There's a series of reports. You can go online to see certain types of food, certain types of diet, certain types of movements may cause the kidney stone to form. And when it forms, it doesn't form quickly. It could sometimes take months, if not years, to form. And when it does form, there could be different types of kidney stones. There could be one stone per se, or there could be multiple stones generated at the same time. And each kidney stone is slightly different. There's very little clarity currently in the U.S. industry as to really why a kidney stone develops. But when it does, it is horribly painful. If you've been watching me over the last week, you've seen how I may have changed slightly in appearance because, trust me, I did. This is what had happened. Kidney stones initially start to permeate and start to formulate, but don't come together. And when they do, you start to feel a sense as though there's something forming, but you don't have the pain yet. And it causes you to grow slightly in size, bloat. And then, when it comes to formation, it could be a certain size, 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters. It could come out at different sizes. It then could also land at different locations. In the case of mine, it was about a 2 millimeter kidney stone, and it fell close to the bladder. Not particularly a large kidney stone. Higher likelihood of what's called to pass. But they can also not pass. And if they don't pass, you have to have surgery. Luckily, I did not have to have surgery. A kidney stone is a stone that causes an enormous amount of pain. What are the symptoms of a kidney stone? That's where, if you've never heard about it, never watched a YouTube channel about it, or a YouTube video about it, or never heard a friend have it, you may not know you're having it. It's a very strange sensation. Especially if you're a person who likes to work out like I do, likes to be very physically fit, you may have thought you pulled a muscle. You may have thought you hurt your back. You may have thought you reached the wrong way for something. Because the back pain is generally the most prevalent symptom of a kidney stone. It starts with a piercing pain in the lower back, slightly around the back section. And that pain sometimes you may think it's caused by something else. If you notice on set, I sit in a chair, and the chair is slightly to its side. And it's actually on that left side where I felt that pain. I can still feel a little bit of the remnants of it right now, but very, very little. So I thought maybe I'm sitting in the chair the wrong way. Maybe I reached for something, I reached for Biden's plan the wrong way to the left, or I reached for sirloin's thing over here, it's wrong, or Jovita's scarf. I reached for something wrong, I pulled my back. That's what you initially think. And then the pain grows. There are different levels of pain. And if you take a pain scale 0 to 10, a kidney stone literally goes to 13. It is the most excruciating pain you've ever held in your entire life. The pain of a kidney stone, while starting on the back, could also exemplify itself all over the body in the mid-torso range. It could be on the side, as it did with me, also further up towards the shoulders, which it did for me, on the other side, and certainly in the stomach. And that's also what happened with me. incredible growth of your stomach to a size you have never seen before, because the stone is causing problems. And every person's stone may cause different problems. Ultimately, not knowing what it is part of the concern. Second, the incredible strength of the pain is shocking. Is shocking. Last weekend, I was able to figure out firsthand that perhaps that was what I had. And then I went for treatment. And as I went for treatment, the condition got severely worse. The excruciating pain is horrible. If you think you have a kidney stone, you need to immediately seek medical advice, and you need to potentially go immediately to emergency care. The way to determine whether you have a kidney stone is not clinical. It's not symptomatic. It's by a CT scan. A CT scan is an imagery system that is done quickly in an emergency room. They all have them. And it's a tube, not as big as an MRI tube, that they put you in, have you breathe in, and then breathe out, and it's done within literally less than 5 seconds. In advance of the CT scan, they have you drink what's basically sugared water over an hour period, a lot of it, so your sugar glucose goes through the roof. It tastes delicious, and then you have that CT scan, and then literally within about 20 minutes, they have the results. They look at an image, and in the image, they see a kidney, and they see another kidney, and then they see a bladder, and then they see, bam, that stone. They can immediately see how big the stone is. Is it big? Is it small? If it's small, it has a likelihood of passing. If it's big, it has a likelihood of not passing. Not passing means they have to do a surgery to take out the stone. But there's no guarantee the stone will pass, and there's no guarantee as to how quickly it'll pass. Some people may tell you 1 to 2 days, some people may tell you a week. And ultimately, how do you know that it passes? They generally prescribe something called Flonase, which is a pill that allows you to help open certain organs to allow the stone to get out of your body faster. And it's a one day pill. But ultimately, my best advice of what made the change for me was making sure you have a massive amount of water, that you take the Flonase, that you walk, and that you're able to really get a lot of liquids out of your body. Getting the liquids out of your body really works to getting this kidney stone to move. During that period of time in which the kidney stone starts to move, the pain does improve slightly, but it's still debilitating. And so if you've been watching me over the last 7 days, yeah, I've been faking it. I have been in pain. I have been faking it. Not necessarily pain on camera, but pain right before I go on camera and right after I go off camera. Excruciating pain, 80-90% of the day in complete pain. Horrible, debilitating pain. Unable to sleep, absolutely not desiring to eat, and incredible weight gain. I gained over 7 pounds in just a few days, and then lost 7 to 10 pounds in just a few days after the kidney stone was gone. You can clearly see how I have looked different in just a short period of time. To get that kidney stone to pass is incredible. When it passes, how do you know that a kidney stone passes? There is no particular, and that was one of the questions I certainly asked. How do you know it passes? Here's my advice to you, is that I totally felt like a different person. Before it passed, did not want to eat, could not even look at food, had no energy, excruciating pain, had to take pain medication. After it passed, no pain, literally that minute, no pain, had a desire to eat, enormous liquids coming out of the body, and immediately your body starts to shrink, go back to where its normal self was. And that's when you just assume at that point it has passed. What do you do then thereafter? Well, in the case of the kidneys, one of the kidneys could have exhibited very bad conditions during the kidney stone. Mine did. So it's very important to know and follow up with further imaging of the kidney to assure that the kidney is back to full condition after the kidney stone passes. I still have waited for that news. So that is why you need to follow up with it. What do you do going forward for the treatment of the kidney stone? Could you have kidney stones again? Well, here's what you need to know, that 50% of Americans who have a kidney stone one time may have it again during their lifetime. Second, if there's no prior family history of kidney stones and the kidney stone you had was very small, the likelihood of having kidney stone is lesser over time. Also, there is a lot of literature out there about things that you can do to change your diet to potentially not get a kidney stone again, which involves adding things to the diet, like lemon juice, and removing things from the diet, like spinach, which I had never ate anyway, to help prevent the possibility of it coming back on. And here's a very big point of advice, which I didn't see anywhere online, and it was sort of the result of my pushing for this, and I got the push, and I got the response back. Is there something proactively to do to prepare for a potential kidney stone in the future, even before it comes on? There is. Medical advisories suggest now to potentially every 2 years have imagery done by like a CT scan to see if there's anything forming abnormally around the kidney that may not come up in normal blood work, your annual examination. It may show normal blood work, but a imaging of the kidney area every 2 years may be a proactive way to anticipate seeing anything in the kidney stone. I hope that this video was helpful for you to understand why kidney stones form, what are the symptoms of kidney stones, what are the causes, and what are the treatments for the kidney stones. Ultimately understand that if you have that excruciating pain, if it's in your lower back and you do not know what it is, seek immediate medical advice and try to get CT imaging done, a CT scan in an emergency room as fast as possible. Doing a CT scan in a private care physician's office could take weeks, and by that point, you're still in a pain. Dealing with the pain is a very short horizon of time because the stone, if it's not coming out, may be a big trouble. So you have a very quick, short window of time to work. It should be out within 7 days, but if it's not out within 7 days, you got to move quickly. And I hope this video has been helpful for you. Stay informed, stay focused. Always stay here with LALATE, and thank you for all your wishes. I am feeling better now. I'm still on the road to recovery, but stay informed, stay